three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
All right, welcome everybody to Teaching Crypto on a Monday evening. This is AZcrypto and MrFOMO. Please hit that like, please hit that subscribe. Any subscribers really help us out. So if you're a YouTube show and you're a YouTuber and you don't even have an account, please think about signing it. Welcome, Faith. Thanks for everyone that normally joins us. Last week we gave out some phone numbers and we got some more important information. Thanks you to everyone that's been calling the judge, Kirkland and Ellis. And we're going to try to step it up here. I wanted to share something, MrFOMO, that was extremely valuable in terms of information. There is a court hearing tomorrow, and there will be an opportunity for people to actually get involved. And so I wanted to share that with our audience. And I think it's super, super important here that everyone sees this. So the website is courtsolutions.com. You see that C-O-R-T, the space solutions.com. You're going to register and create an account and make sure you're non-lawyer represented. You're going to enter Judge Willis's name. You're going to enter the trial date, and the time is tomorrow if you can make it at 2 p.m. You're going to select live participation or listen only. You put in the case number, and MrFOMO, we'll leave a link to this, I'm sure, in our description. And you're going to enter the case numbers 2210943. You're going to enter the case name Voyager, and you're going to enter self-represented as your client. You're going to hit agree to terms. That will allow you to participate in tomorrow's hearing. MrFOMO, this is super important because the judge apparently has said he's surprised at the lack of creditor engagement. And part of the problem is the UCC has not been representing people and kind of been a middleman. And so I also wanted to reshare the judge's phone number in just a little bit. But again, there are about 8 steps here. If you follow these steps tonight or tomorrow morning or early afternoon, you can participate in the 2 p.m. The judge needs to hear from anyone. So if you are able tomorrow to do this, unfortunately for me, it will be a no-go. I would love to do it. I just have a job that I cannot get out of when you're in education. But if you would if you can, think of representing us, your fellow creditor. Get on there, make some noise, tell the judge what's going on, explain your frustration with the fact that your assets and your money have been held for so long. Demand that they toggle and open up the app, just like you've been doing here, just like we've been calling Kirkland and Ellis. Demand some action. Tell them you're not happy that Steve is taking a full salary and your money is frozen, and the fact that you've had to change your life because of this. So, MrFOMO, it's really important if people have the opportunity, they take advantage of this tomorrow.
I think even if you just pop in and listen only mode, like it says, you don't plan on being active in it. You just plan to listen to the proceedings. I think that will even show the judge in numbers how many people are concerned with this court case. So even if you don't plan on participating, even if you don't want to participate, I know a lot of people will be nervous to get involved in something like that, but or to speak up at something like that. But if you can just pop in to show that strength in numbers, you show that solidarity across the board. That's right around my lunchtime. I'm a little later than you, so I'm going to be able to pop in for a little bit, but I probably won't say anything or participate. I'll be in that listen only mode.
But if you can talk, please talk. I know, MrFOMO, I get what you're saying, but also we do need some people to step up and speak.
Absolutely.
So if you are able, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for us. Explain your frustration. Demand that, tell the judge that opening and toggling is an option, and tell him that you need to do it. Tell him he needs to take action. Tell him he needs to start thinking about people and their money, not just the lawyers and not just Steve. The more people that give that message, the better probability we have. So again, those are the 8 steps. We'll leave a link in the description. But again, it's court. You see there the website solutions.com, and you're going to register. You're going to follow those steps, and that'll get you into the hearing. I wanted to share something else here, and that is the judge's number again. And again, it's 212-668-5663. You see here the information. It's easy to find if you Google his name right here. But again, the judge's phone number, if you want to leave him a direct message, 212-668-5663. The more of us that participate, the better, right?
And I think
if you can't make it to the hearing, you can at least then call and leave a message.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. That if you can't make it to the hearing, or if you're nervous, or if you don't feel like speaking up during something like that, during formal proceedings, call and leave a message. If somebody picks up and talks to you, even better. But you need to have your story heard. They need to know that we're more than just numbers out here. They need to know that we're people with real problems.
It's a damn shame that the judge has not heard from creditors.
Yes.
He's under the assumption that people are not upset and not angry. We've got to change it, and there's got to be a sense of urgency, and has to be done now. So again, if you can't make it, minimum sometime this week, I know I will be calling again. Try to call the judge. On the last show, we gave information for Kirkland Ellis. Now, apparently, they've been hanging up on people. But hey, guess what? Don't matter. Unfortunately, we had a number for Steve, and we tried it. It did not work. We even had a Steve Ehrlich phone number. It takes you right to the shareholders, and creditors. You don't get a hold of him. I was excited when I saw it posted and tried it myself. And so there's no point in sharing. It doesn't work. But I'm on the hunt for a phone number, not necessarily his personal information, but it was harder than the phone number they have listed. You don't get a hold of Steve Ehrlich. So you can try, he's still on Twitter. You can try messaging him. I have tried several times the last few months. He has not responded. He stopped responding to me. He was happy to respond and stick up for himself when this first went down. But now that he's been months and months of taking salary while we're being hurt, he is nowhere to be found. And one more thing about Voyager, Mr. FOMO. You remember Metropolitan Bank, don't you, our old friend?
That's right. They were able to give us our USD back.
Well, not me, but if you got some, luckily for you, great job. They're closing down their crypto business. Obviously, there's no need for them to do any business with Voyager ever again, but they are no longer going to be in the business anymore. And it is a shame that so many bad actors kind of ruined the legitimacy of crypto over the past several months. So we don't want to recap everything, but it all started with Luna. And now we find out Sam may have been involved in the destruction of Luna. It's just sad that so many bad things have happened. And now you have a lot of people saying, I told you so. I have in my own personal life. I told you it was dangerous. And Bitcoin itself, look, it's at 17K. It's far from dead. It's capable of doing another bull run, no doubt. But unfortunately, the narrative is out there is very negative. I pray it does not hurt the next bull run, but I have a feeling we might see a delayed bull run because of the people being tentative of jumping back in and having cold feet. It is a shame, Mr. FOMO. This is another example of life of when people do bad things, it not only affects themselves, but everyone around them.
Well, think about what that caused for Metropolitan Bank when people, like, not everybody had USD available, but when people did go and get their USD, imagine the bank run that caused for them. There had to be some sort of liquidity crunch for them because, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars were turned over overnight out of their accounts. So I quite frankly, if I were a bank, I wouldn't want to do business with crypto companies either, just on that note alone. That would leave a bad taste in my mouth if I were a bank president or a CEO of a company like that, because it caused exactly that, a bank run in the middle. When was it? August when we were able to get to our USD, or September?
Mm-hmm.
And so turnaround is very short here in January for them to turn around and say, yeah, we're never dealing with crypto companies again.
Great question. How do we get these criminals to do the right thing? We just got to contact the judge. And the first step here is to get as much of our assets back as possible. Second step is, Steve is being accused, at least by one state now, of selling a security without registering. So that's something. He has not been indicted. He hasn't been charged with anything yet, but we're got to continue to put the pressure on him. Show up tomorrow, please, and let the judge know how you think you have been screwed by Steve. Let him know.
And I think that's more of a broader question. You know, how do we keep bad actors out of crypto? And I don't think that you really can. There will be regulation, and you know, we think eventually you'll be limited on the number of cryptos you have access to, depending on where you live, what country you live in. You know, and even may come down to what state you live in here in the U.S. But it comes down to doing your own research. Just you know, even as much research as we did on Voyager, as much research as we did on, you know, some of these other companies. And you also have to be skeptical about all of these companies. Anybody who's dealing in crypto, you have to go into that with a skeptical eye. Otherwise, you're being naive. These people know that they are in an unregulated industry, and they will take advantage of us whenever they get the chance. And so for us, it's important to remember there's safety in USD in those situations, or there's safety in moving your crypto back and forth to a hardware or a like a MetaMask wallet, a hot wallet. But there's, you know, it's a risky environment. And so the more research you do, the more you watch this show and pay attention to what we say, but the more research you do on your own, and the more that you pay attention, and the quicker you are to react when you see those red flags from some of these companies, the better off you'll be. And I think that's the best advice I can give, is when you see the red flags go up, your green has to come out.
So again, phone number for the judge, 212 area code 668-5663. Ask them to toggle, opening up the app, give us what's left. Forget about this Binance deal. It's not going through. We should not have to wait another 9 months, 3 months for it to go down, another 6 months. And again, the website court-solutions.com. Go there. There'll be a link below in the description, right, Mr. FOMO, and people can sign up tonight. And yeah. Yeah, objects to the $60 million slush. Yeah, I mean, there's so many objections. It's just, everything is so disgusting. The judge needs to hear from us. That's the bottom line. If you can make it to tomorrow and be an active speaker, if you're watching the show tonight, please do it. If you can, please do it. I know Mr. FOMO talked about maybe just want to listen. Honestly, we got to have people step up. I don't, at this point, it's too late for listening. We need action. I would love to be there, and unfortunately, I just can't do it. But I will be calling the judge tomorrow sometime during my free time and leaving a message at the very least. So again, call that number. If you can participate tomorrow in the hearing, please do so. And Mr. FOMO, we'll have our next show. We will talk about what was said, what was not said in the hearing. Unfortunately, Mr. FOMO, UCC is still silent. No town hall scheduled yet. And it's a shame, too. That's
another thing that I didn't understand about that judge's comment about being surprised of not hearing from the creditors. Through this process, they set up the UCC, and in my mind, that was sort of the go-between, the middleman for the creditors. I thought, just out of etiquette, we shouldn't be calling the judge or contacting anyone involved. But that's fine with me, you know.
Well, you thought wrong, and that's the problem. You thought wrong. Yeah.
And so now, knowing this, we've got to bombard these people, especially the judge.
He's got to be listening. He's got to be getting calls from everyone every single day, guys. Watch the show. Please share. And one more time, I'm going to leave you with the phone number, area code 212-668-5663. Please go tonight to court-solutions.com. Follow those steps in the description. We had it up earlier in the video. Get involved tomorrow. Speak to the judge. Speak to the court. Make sure you say Steve's name. Make sure the judge hears you. Make sure you give your frustration. Take your frustration out in a good way, a positive way tomorrow. The more impact we can make on the judge, the more likely it is that they can open up the app and allow people to take out what's left. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. We will see you guys later. Have a great night.
Yeah.